Everyone's talking about ChatGPT, but few truly understand what it can do. In this journey, I'll show you not just how to use it, but how to think with it. This isn't another tutorial. This is the moment you learn to command one of the most powerful minds on Earth. Because ChatGPT doesn't just answer, it mirrors your creativity, your logic, your emotion. The secret, it's not what you type, it's how you lead the conversation. Every prompt you craft is a key, and every response a door into your imagination. In this guide, I'll take you from beginner curiosity to advanced command. We'll explore how ChatGPT thinks, how it learns, and how you can shape its intelligence like clay. You'll learn the rhythm of a great conversation with AI, where intuition meets precision. And once you master it, ChatGPT becomes not just a tool, but your creative partner. From writing to research, from storytelling to strategy, everything begins with how you speak to it. So, how do you chat like a pro? You start by understanding what ChatGPT really is. Not just an algorithm, but a reflection of the world's collective knowledge distilled into dialogue. When you speak to it, you're tapping into the sum of human language, reassembled in milliseconds. And that's where the magic begins, when your words become the code that shapes the conversation. So, before we dive deeper, remember this. ChatGPT doesn't replace your mind, it amplifies it. To use ChatGPT like a pro, you first need to understand what it truly is, a dialogue engine built on patterns of meaning. It doesn't think like us, it predicts, connects, and creates based on what it's learned from billions of words. When you type a question, it doesn't just search, it composes a response built on probabilities, logic, and style. It's like an orchestra of ideas, and your prompt is the conductor's baton. But remember, ChatGPT doesn't know truth, it knows patterns that resemble truth. That's why your role is to lead with clarity. You guide the model, not the other way around. So when you ask, what's the best prompt? The real question is, what outcome do I want to shape? Every response is a reflection of your precision, creativity, and emotional tone. When you type casually, you get casual results. But when you type with purpose, the AI responds in kind. That's the beauty. It mirrors your mindset. ChatGPT is a projection of your focus, discipline, and imagination. So the real secret isn't about finding a perfect prompt, it's about building a relationship with the system. The more you converse with intention, the more you'll notice patterns. How it listens, how it adapts, how it reflects your tone. And over time, you stop just using ChatGPT. You start thinking with it. That's the foundation of mastery. Not dependence, but partnership. So now that you understand what ChatGPT is, let's explore what it can truly do when you ask the right way. Now that you understand what ChatGPT is, it's time to learn the real secret: how to speak its language. Every great response begins with one thing: clarity. Think of a prompt as a map. If your directions are vague, the AI wanders, but when they're clear, it arrives exactly where you want. The simplest way to start? Tell ChatGPT who it should be before what it should do. When you define its role, expert, coach, designer, strategist, you give the model context, personality, and precision. Then, describe the task clearly. The more specific your intention, the more tailored the outcome. Specificity is your magic. Details turn noise into genius. And structure. That's how pros build control. Start with the outcome, set the tone, define the voice, then give it examples to learn your style. That's called prompt stacking, guiding the AI layer by layer until it becomes your creative mirror. With stacking, you don't just ask, you build intelligence. Here's the truth. ChatGPT learns your rhythm. Feed it quality and it gives brilliance back. Your tone, your phrasing, your clarity, they all teach the AI how to respond to you. So don't think of prompts as commands. Think of them as collaborations. Ask clearly, add examples, define the tone, and always give context. Because without context, even the smartest model is just guessing your intent. But when you master context, you turn ChatGPT into your creative twin. That's the difference between average users and pros. Pros design conversations. They don't just ask questions, they engineer intelligence and determine their outcome. And once you start prompting with intention, ChatGPT stops feeling like a chatbot. and starts feeling like your co-creator. Let's step beyond theory, because ChatGPT's power is only real when it shapes your world. From business to creativity, learning to lifestyle, ChatGPT becomes the engine of possibility. Imagine crafting your brand story, and ChatGPT turns your rough thoughts into a captivating narrative. Or planning your week, where ChatGPT organizes your goals, tasks, and even motivation into one flow. Writers use it as a muse. Entrepreneurs use it as a strategist. Students use it as a silent coach. Because ChatGPT doesn't just answer, it collaborates. When you ask it to design a campaign, it thinks with you. When you brainstorm ideas, it listens like a friend. It's not here to replace your creativity, but to amplify it. The best creators learn to co-create, to speak to ChatGPT like a teammate, not a tool. This partnership is what makes your workflow unstoppable. Need to draft a client proposal? ChatGPT structures it faster than you can type. Launching a product? It writes your emails, social captions, and strategy outline in one conversation. Teachers use it to personalize learning. Designers use it to ideate faster. Coders use it to debug smarter. What you give ChatGPT defines what it gives back. Rubbish in, rubbish out. So the secret isn't power, it's partnership, making ChatGPT your coworker and teammate. Every great ChatGPT result begins with trust that curiosity will be rewarded by clarity. And when you see your ideas come alive, that's when ChatGPT stops being software and becomes art. Because art isn't just what you create, it's what transforms you in the process. This is the real-world magic when intelligence meets imagination. And the truth is that magic is already in your hands. You only have to realize that and take advantage. And if this inspired you, subscribe, stay curious, and keep learning how to ChatGPT like a pro.